We begin in Brazil. The world's fifth largest country in both geography and population will see leadership changes from coast to coast. Elections will be held next weekend to determine mayors, deputy mayors, and city councilors in more than 5,000 municipalities. In Rio de Janeiro, sometimes referred to as the wonderful city, one candidate for mayor has been drawing crowds. His message? The upcoming World Cup and Olympics will benefit far too few of the city's 6 million residents. And the growing economy and investment there is only furthering the divide between the rich and poor. America's Now contributing correspondent Stephen Gibbs recently sat down with a candidate in Rio, and he files this report.
It is Rio's renaissance. After years of neglect, this spectacular city is being promoted as the face of the new Brazil. The double prize of hosting the Olympics and the World Cup, the perfect opportunity for the city to show its best side to the world. That is the message put across by the city's incumbent mayor, Eduardo Paes. He's seeking re-election next week, and he's expecting to win. Unless, that is, this man gets his way. Marcelo Freixo is also campaigning to be mayor. His message is a much less comfortable one about Rio. He invited us to spend the day with him on the campaign trail. The car travelling behind him is his security team. The former school teacher has received 30 credible death threats. 6 years ago, as a young politician, he demanded action against criminal mafia, which had infiltrated the city's police force. So, no surprise if he seems nervous. Marcelo Freixo's political message is that the show Rio is about to put on is just that, a show which obscures this city's problems and actually will increase inequality. There are two sides to the city, he says. Travelling from one to the other, he describes as like travelling through time.
O Rio não é uma cidade que pensa nas pessoas. A administração do Rio pensa nos negócios, em grandes faturamentos, em grandes investimentos, mas não na vida de quem mora no Rio de Janeiro e tem o seu dia a dia aqui no Rio de Janeiro. Então nós temos grandes investimentos, nenhuma cidade do mundo tem o calendário que o Rio vai ter, com Copa do Mundo, Olimpíada, Copa das Confederações, encontros jovens católicos.
It's a message that rings true here in the Santa Marta favela. 1,000 shanty towns like this surround Rio. They are home to a third of the city's population. But the people here, like José Antonio Camelo, have a specific complaint. For years, this community was known as the place with the best view and the worst crime in all Rio. Now the crime has subsided, and just at the moment when these properties have a value, the local government has declared that the entire area is unsafe for habitation. José and all his neighbours face eviction.
É uma visão assim cinematográfica, muito linda. Então o que acontece? Eles querem tirar, porque se eles fizerem um hotel de luxo ali para turista, eles vão ganhar muito mais do que mantendo a nossa comunidade, que é humilde. Então eu acho que sim, eu acho que é especulação imobiliária, dinheiro.
José has a deep distrust of politicians, all of them.
A gente está assim vacinado, porque todos em época de eleição vêm com cara de santo, abraçando a comunidade, beijando nossos filhos, comendo no nosso prato, e depois que eles se elegem, eles dão um chute na comunidade e abandona, acabou. Só vem em época de eleição. Ele está mostrando nos programas, na plataforma de governo dele, uma diferença. Vamos ver se ele mantém essa diferença.
Mr. Freixo says that if he's elected, he will change the whole way this city is run. He says right now things are stuck in the past. Under his watch, citizens' groups would be given a voice, and the privatization of social services would end. It's proved a popular message to this city's younger voters, who also admire the fact that he has risked his life taking on organised crime. On this rainy night in Rio, 15,000 came out to support him.
And this guy here, he's proposing a way of government that is for the people, not for the business. He doesn't intend to make a good environment only for business, and after business come the good for the people. He wants to make the good for the people before, and then you go and develop the city and develop the people.
There is plenty of criticism here of the status quo.
É remoção de pessoas que moram aqui na Lapa todos os dias, as ocupações, para poder construir grandes avenidas, estádios, gastam bilhões de dinheiro público para expulsar a pobreza e esconder a pobreza. Isso não é uma política social que dê conta de uma cidade mais justa. Isso é a política social que dá conta do embelezamento da cidade para o comércio, para o lucro.
The mayor's team roundly rejects suggestions that this Olympics will favour business and nothing else. Bernardo Carvalho is executive director of the Rio Olympic Committee.
All these events are an opportunity so that Rio can show, that we changed. We have a secure city right now, something that we didn't have in the past. Rio used to be the capital of Brazil. We lost this capital and we lost a lot of its investment. We're getting it back now, not only with the Olympic Games. So we're investing a lot in the social area of the city. A lot of the projects that are being done for the population of Rio, despite the Olympic Games. So Rio is having a lot of, this is a challenge, to include the poorest people of the city on this Olympic Games and on the progress that the Olympic Games bring to the city.
Mr. Freixo has gone to great lengths to stress during his campaign that he's not anti-sport. But it has been suggested that if he does actually become mayor of Rio, that would be the International Olympic Committee's nightmare scenario. He's indicated he will look at all major projects to make sure that they benefit everyone.
Então, um Rio muito bonito e muito desigual, né? E isso é uma escolha da administração atual que pensa em determinados modelos e não na cidadania. A gente vive um período que eu chamo de cidadania do aplauso, né? A gente é chamado para grandes eventos, grandes espetáculos, aplaudimos e voltamos para casa. Não há participação das pessoas, não há possibilidade das pessoas de decidir sobre o futuro do Rio de Janeiro.
Couldn't you be accused of being a bit of a spoilsport here?
Eu quero a Olimpíada, eu quero a Copa do Mundo, eu gosto da festa, mas eu respeito muito o dinheiro público e a democracia.
I also want to ask you about the fact that you've received death threats because of your work against organised crime here in Rio. Do those threats frighten you?
Não. Como diz o Nietzsche, tudo que não me mata me torna mais forte, né? Eu não acho que isso enfraqueça, pelo contrário, eu acho que é muito ruim que isso aconteça. As ameaças são frutos da minha ação política, não é nenhuma ameaça fruto de algum problema pessoal que eu tenha. É uma situação muito absurda de ainda acontecer em pleno século XXI no Rio de Janeiro.
At this rally, his security was discreet. At his side was his longtime supporter, the celebrated Brazilian musician Caetano Veloso.
So can Marcelo Freixo win this? The answer is he almost certainly can't. But that isn't necessarily the point. What he's trying to do is raise people's awareness of the fact that despite, or perhaps because of, Rio's apparent success, deep underlying problems in this city remain unsolved.
O Rio não é uma cidade maravilhosa, mas um maravilhoso cenário para uma cidade. Uma cidade maravilhosa se faz quando a população tem emprego, quando a população tem a sua vida garantida, quando a juventude, mesmo pobre e negra, tem expectativa de vida. E é muito importante quando alguém conhece uma cidade, que conheça a cidade como um todo.
The World Cup and Olympic Games promise to bring substantial revenue to Brazil's second largest city. How much of that wealth will be spent on programs to benefit the people, however, remains to be seen. In the meantime, Rio is making great strides in transforming itself into the wonderful city it aspires to. adding roads, building a bus loop, and clearing out gang-run neighborhoods to construct stadiums for various venues. They are also doubling the number of hotel rooms in the city to accommodate all the spectators the big events will draw. One of the main attractions for those visitors will be the monument you saw at the end of Stephen Gibbs's report. Christ the Redeemer, or Cristo Redentor as it's known in Portuguese. A signature of the skyline, it is the largest Art Deco statue of Jesus of Nazareth in the world and was selected as one of the new 7 wonders of the world in 2007. Other wonders on the list, the Taj Mahal, Machu Picchu, and the Great Wall of China.